All right. A very good afternoon. I am Anchor Priya Shramankar, and I would like to firstly welcome all of you all. Firstly, a heads up: am I audible to everyone? Mr. Hilal, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, wonderful. So the live streaming has begun, and we are formally starting with this session now. So, firstly, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Priya Shramankar, and it gives me immense pleasure to say this that I will be your anchor, that is, your host for this session. And firstly, I would like to extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the third edition of the world's largest FinTech Fest, that is the Global FinTech Fest, organized by the National Payments Corporation of India, Payments Council of India, and the FinTech Convergence Council. This edition of the fest is supported by the Department of Economic Affairs, RBI, and IFSCA. Along with that, I would also like to thank our partners, that is, our communication partners, Kalare, banking partner, Standard Chartered Bank, our diamond partners, PayU, AWS, Kia.ai, Paytm, and our networking partner, Buddy Loan. Having said that, I would also like to thank our theme partner, WhatsApp, co-powered by Amazon Pay, spend management partner, Encash, in association with Perfuse, payments partner, Cash Free Payments, and CEO's dinner partner, HSBC. Well, the speeches and discussions at the Global FinTech Fest 2022 will cover a range of initiatives and intervention. And to begin with that, the topic for our discussion is the FinTech landscape Qatar. And I'm glad to welcome our esteemed speaker for this session. Please welcome Mr. Hilal AL-kuwari, Incubation Specialist, FinTech Qatar, Qatar Development Bank, for this next wonderful session that we are going to have. Also, I would like to update you all that at the end of the session, please post your questions in the chat window. And I would now welcome Mr. Hilal AL-kuwari to please take over the session from here.
Thank you for the nice introduction. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone who's here with us today. This is Hilal AL-kuwari. I'm from Qatar Development Bank, and I will be representing Qatar Fintech Hub today, and to go through a presentation about Qatar Fintech Hub. I'm audible
Yes, sir, you're audible, but we're not able to see you on screen.
now.
No, we're not able to see you on the camera. Yeah, it works now.
Okay, so starting with the vision of Qatar Fintech Hub. So when we start Qatar Fintech Hub in 2018, we starting with the national fintech strategy and the vision of this Qatar Fintech Hub to be a global recognized hub to provide a platform to connect all players in one platform, stay relevant to the Qatari region and global market, and to run programs which is to attract international fintechs and support local entrepreneurs, which will explain later on. Can you please move with the slides? The next one. So, Qatar Fintech Hub is a key fintech initiative which managed by QDB under leadership of QCB. Here we can see three different boxes. The first box, Qatar Fintech strategy, the purpose of the fintech strategy, the initiatives under strategy, and the vision which I just highlighted. Starting with the fintech strategy purposes, the purpose of fintech strategy to enable Qatar vision and national initiatives and making Qatari financial services sector global competitive, solve local and global challenges, finally deliver meaningful solution to the Qatari consumers. Moving on to the initiative that under this strategy, when we established the strategy in 2018, we have four main purposes or initiatives that we want to establish, which run incubation and acceleration, which now we already in wave four, regulatory sandbox, which launched recently by central bank, commercial registration for fintechs, which now been licensing by Qatar Financial Center. Finally, fintech division to be created under QCB, which already done. The third box about the vision of Qatar Fintech Hub, which I already explained, to be recognized as a global hub, to make this hub as a platform to bring all connection player in one place, stay relevant to the Qatar region and global market, and to run the incubation and acceleration program. Moving on to the next slide. Uh, Here is brief snapshot about Qatar fintech ecosystem. We can see Qatar Central Bank play as orchestrator and regulator. As an orchestrator, a flag bearer and leading force the national fintech agenda, facilitate collaboration and overseas execution, and manage government licensing. While they are also playing as a regulator because they're issuing the laws. License the fintech to be operate in the market and let them to enter in the sandbox. While talking about the sector developer, which is QDB, Qatar Development Bank, and Qatar Financial Center, we are playing as a supporter of the national fintech agenda, establish offices for fintech, finance them, incubate and accelerate them, identify fintech research technology and talent. Final, we have a fintech strategy committee. This committee has been created by Qatar Central Bank, and the members of this committee are from the fintech ecosystem here in Qatar. Next slide, please. Qatar Fintech Hub strengthen the fintech ecosystem with the key activities and the programs. We have incubation and acceleration program, angel investment masterclass, white paper, hackathon, investment partnerships, and webinars. Talking about the incubation and acceleration programs, both programs are working in parallel for 12 weeks programs. The incubator program created for the entrepreneur and early stage fintech stage with minimum viable product who want to transform their prototype into a sellable product, build traction, and raise fund. While the accelerator program is for mature fintechs who are looking for global expansion with a proven product market fit. Angel Investment Masterclass, it's a session organized as a part of our activities during the program. The fintech white paper, we already published the first white paper that include all information about the fintech industry in Qatar and the key players. And the second white paper, inshallah, will be published soon. We are working on it. Hackathon, we have an activity, it's called Hackathon, and usually we do this hackathon before we start the program. And the main of this hackathon, we use it as a pipeline for the entrepreneur or early stage entrepreneur fintechs who want to join our incubation program. So we have a certain themes, and the winners from this competition will join the incubation program without any filtration process. Another key activities that we have it's called our webinars. Or we have many we have did many webinars so far with our partners. and the topics of webinars depend on the situation that happen through the fintech ecosystem. Partnerships, we have built a strong partnerships, either local, global, and with the global hubs, which I will talk about them later on. Investment in Qatar Fintech Hub, we are committed to invest in startups, either in cash or in kind, based on milestones and against equity. Moving to the next slide, in addition to the programs, we are also, as I mentioned earlier, we have engaged with local and global stakeholders. We have uh, we have engaged with the local institution. Those will help us to deliver the business development sessions, help us to sponsor some events, partnership with the startups and investment opportunity. While our engagement with the global hubs, it will help us for to have a good experience. As I mentioned earlier, our vision to be recognized as a global hub. So that's why we are signing with the global fintechs. We are close working with them, so we can get benefit from them, so we can be recognized as global hub in the future, inshallah. In addition to our local partners, we have also international like Visa, Google, Mastercard, etc. The main purpose of signing with those international partners to grow with our programs, to have a very strong partners that can help also our local international the local and the international fintechs to use their platforms to those partners to introduce those fintechs to their networks and etc. Finally, we have signed up with mentors. Uh, no, wait, can you back please? We have signed with high-class mentors. All of them are relevant to the ecosystem. Those mentors are helping those fintechs to grow up with their businesses, have one-to-one meeting with them, and it will be a good chance to introduce those fintechs to the networks of those mentors. Moving on to the next slide. Qatar Fintech Hub has introduced number of new services and products through three waves. As we can see, we have wealth tech, insurtech, remittance, and etc. So far, 20 fintechs are registered in Qatar. They we have more than 35 partners. We are committed to invest in them against equity, as I mentioned earlier. We have engaged them with global and local mentors, and they are be part from the BD session with business development sessions. Moving on to the next slide, across the four waves. Now, currently, we are on wave four. We have received more than 2,300 applications from 76 countries. Each wave focusing on certain themes. We can see in wave one, we are focusing on payment, while wave two, emerging market, wave three, we focus on embedded finance, and now in wave four, we are focusing on next generation banking. How this seems it's come. We have uh, we have set a meetings with our main stakeholders like Qatar Financial Center, Qatar Central Banks, and others. We have a brainstorming session to come up with a focus for each team. As we can see here, in wave one, we have received more than 700 application, and we have graduated 19 fintechs from both programs, and we have introduced a variety of services. While wave two, we have graduated 22, wave three, 16, and now we have 13. So here we can notice that each waves we graduated uh, a different or variety of services in the market and introduce a new solution in the Qatari and global markets. For Wave 4, as I mentioned, it's still in the progress, and that the 26th of October, it will be the demo day. The main purpose of the demo day to give those fintechs an opportunity to present in front of investors and local and global partners. Moving on to the value proposition that we are offering in our program, we are offering financial support, mentors, access to the local and global market, logistic, access capital, regulatory support, and commercial establishment. Talking about the financial support, as I mentioned, we are committed to invest cash and in-kind services against equity and based on milestones. While I'm saying in-kind services, the in-kind services, it's like the business development sessions, the matchmaking that we are doing with the partners, the sessions that we are offering to all fintechs, logistic support. We are offering a free office space during the program. Also, we are helping fintechs to with their application with the Qatar Central Bank sandbox. Also, one of the support that the fintechs will get from the program if they want to establish their office or their commercial registration with Qatar Financial Center, the first year, the wave will be waived from the first year and will help them with local and global markets with to introduce them with our partners. So this is in a nutshell and in about Qatar Fintech Hub. And you can follow us in our social media platform, either Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, to have any to be updated, and happy to answer any question if you have.
Thank you, Mr. Hilal, for that wonderful discussion and the illuminating presentation. Um, in terms of question, we have one question come in. Can you elaborate more on wave 3?
What kind of elaborate on Wave 3?
No further question on that piece. We just have, can you elaborate more on wave 3?
Wave 3, it's finished in the mid-year, in June 2022. We have graduated, as I mentioned in my presentation, 16 fintech. I don't know what I want to elaborate more. It's a very generic question, sorry.
Yes, it is indeed. All right, I don't think we have further questions on the same. So before we end, formally close this discussion, any few things that you would like to say before we formally close the discussion?
I would like to mention that we are planning to have Wave 5 and Wave 6 next year. If anyone interested to join and to be in our journey, please follow our social media platforms to be updated. So once the application is open, you can register. And happy to have a new product, a new solution in our market, and to introduce them to the global market as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Hilal. Like I said, it was a wonderful presentation and an illuminating discussion that will create new pathways for all our audience. So with that, we come to a close of this discussion. And before I end, I would like to thank again all our partners who have supported us in this edition. I would like to thank our communications partner, Kalire, banking partner, Standard Chartered Bank, our diamond partners, PayU, AWS, Kia A.ai, Paytm, and our networking partner, Buddy Loan. Thank you so much, Mr. Hilal, for this
Thank you.
wonderful discussion and devoting your time to this session for the Global FinTech Fest 2022. and it was an honor to have you at the Global Fintech Fest 2022. Thank you so much. This is anchor Priya Shamankar signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.